What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video on the Fearless Knit YouTube channel. And in today's video, I'm going to be going over my Round 7 2022 AFL tips / predictions. First of all, I probably should point out, you can probably tell by the lighting, this video is actually being filmed at night. So, yeah, due to, I'm on a pretty tight schedule at the moment, obviously with school going back and all that. But anyways, hope you enjoy. Leave a like, share, subscribe. We're trying to grow the channel as big as we can. But yeah, like I said, leave a like, share, subscribe. These tipping videos do normally do very well, so appreciate everyone who hops on and has a watch. And yeah, hope you enjoy. And yeah, without any further ado, let's get stuck in away. So like we do every week on these tipping videos, we go over the previous round and see how I went from last week's tips. And looking here, I got 7 out of 9 again for round 6, Anzac round. Yeah, got 7 out of 9 for the second week in a row. So that's a lot better from me. I should say I was getting like 4s and 5s. This game between GWS and St Kilda, the Saints got the job done by 17 points. Yeah, probably see what I think. I think it was 9 points. Yeah, I wasn't too far off. I thought it was going to be 12 points in the end, but obviously the Saints kicked that last goal. Saints too good. The Giants, man, what is going on with the Giants? They're in a bit of strife, the Giants. But nonetheless, got that tip right. The Dogs in Adelaide, and before I discuss this game, fair play to Adelaide. That is a hats off win to Adelaide. 1 point, I know, but could have gone either way that game. The Dogs were in it, they challenged, but the Crows, they look, I have to say, like, they've come a long way since 2020 when they finished last, because since then they've been a very, very competitive side, and I think this game shows why, they're probably going to be a good side in the future. But nonetheless, got that one wrong. I don't think many people would have got that right though. Adelaide Oval, it was Port Adelaide v West Coast. Did not watch this game at all. But looking here, Port Adelaide got the job done by 84 points. Very much needed win for Port Adelaide. Been really struggling, obviously, the start of this season, starting 0-5. Not too good for them. West Coast, I think they are probably the worst side in the comp. Yeah, but well done to Port Adelaide. Much needed win at home against the Eagles. And yeah, got that tip right as well. Next game, at Optus Stadium between Fremantle and Carlton, the blockbuster of the round. And I wasn't fully convinced on the Dockers yet, but gee, after that win, geez, it's pretty hard not to rate the Dockers now, I think. And I'm on the train for the Dockers. They've been playing some really good footy to start this season, no doubt about it. I think they've only lost the one game. I think that was to St Kilda. Carlton didn't play too bad, I don't think. I think Fremantle were just a way better side. But yeah, the Dockers got the job done there. That was a 50-50 one though. So yeah, I did tip Carlton, as you can see, and didn't go very well. I thought the Blues would put up a better fight than that. Next up, at Blundstone Arena, the Cats, the Roos and the Cats. Blundstone Arena is normally an arena where North Melbourne play well. Not today, said the Cats. And yeah, steamrolled North Melbourne, ultimately Geelong. Like I said, the Cats' experience is very, very good. Something North Melbourne probably don't have much of anyway. Yeah, the Cats just the way better side, and yeah, got that tip right as well. And I believe I got the next 4 right. I tipped Brisbane over Gold Coast in this game at Metricon Stadium. Next game, obviously the game I went to, if you've seen my vlog, which you probably most of you have. If you haven't, check it out. Yeah, the D's and the Tigers. I was actually fairly impressed by how the Tigers stood up to Melbourne, although then again I was a little bit frustrated when they gave up that lead at half time. Anyways, got that one right. I got that one right because I did tip the D's. Next game, Hawthorn v Sydney. What a bizarre game this was. Hawthorn led by, I think, 25 points. And then Sydney in the last quarter kicked the last 9 goals. But yeah, anyways, got that one right as well. And the last game, Ashik Anzac Day clash. The last game of the round between Essendon and Collingwood. What a ripper match this one was. Very evenly matched. Essendon played a whole lot better in this game, like they did exactly the opposite of the way they played against Fremantle the week before. But geez, Collingwood, they just get the job done. Collingwood, they're no mess about team, that is for sure. And yeah, I think Collingwood, wow. Who would have predicted them to be in the 8 at the start of the season? But yeah, those are my round 6 tips. 7 out of 9, not too bad. And now let's move on to the round 7 tips. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Round number 7. Yeah, so hopefully I can do just as well as I did in my last two rounds. Yeah, been going quite well recently. As you can probably see on screen, 7 out of 9, as I said, 2 weeks in a row. Hopefully I can continue getting 7, because I think 7's the score you want to get at least. But anyways, first game of the round, we got West Coast up against Richmond at Optus Stadium. Now, believe it or not, last year, the Eagles beat the Tigers in the final minutes in this game last year. And I was there, and I got pretty mad when Josh Kennedy kicked that goal. But nonetheless, if Richmond don't win this one, I'm calling it season over for Richmond if they don't win this. The Tigers have lost a couple in a row. Then again, the Eagles, I think, have only won 1 game. Yeah, they have only won 1 game. I'm tipping the Tigers in this one. I don't think it's even a biased tip at this point. I think West Coast are a VFL side. I'm going to go 35 points. I'm going to go 35 points for the Tigers to win this one. Surely they can win this, Richmond, even at Optus Stadium. Surely. This West Coast side is literally a VFL side. Surely. Yeah, I'm tipping the Tigers by 35 points in that one. That is on Friday night, so that's tomorrow or today, whenever you're watching this. Well, I'm recording this on Thursday, so it'll be tomorrow. Next game at GMHBA Stadium, probably one of the blockbusters of the round, if I'm going to be entirely honest. We got the Cats up against the Dockers. The Cats last week, pretty convincing win against North Melbourne, although then again, North Melbourne aren't much better than West Coast. But nonetheless, on the road, the Cats, their experience just keeps them alive in seasons sometimes. At GMHBA Stadium, I don't think the Dockers have won there in a very, very long time, and I think this would be almost a bit of a drought breaker for the Dockers if they won this. Be a massive confidence booster for either side if they won this. The Dockers are in better form than the Cats, looking at the ladder there. But at GMHBA Stadium, I think it's pretty hard to tip against Geelong at GMHBA Stadium, so I'm going to go to Cats. Apologies, Dockers fans. Haven't tipped your boys as much as well, but similar. People want me to start tipping Geelong more, and I think I will tip Geelong most times, like 9 times out of 10 if they're playing at GMHBA Stadium. But yeah, I'm going to tip the Cats in that one. I think it'll be a close game though. I reckon it'll be around 8 points. I think it'll be very, very close. So I'm tipping the Cats though to win that one. Adelaide Oval on Saturday, we got the Crows up against the GWS Giants. The Crows, wow, their performance last week. I watched that game against the Doggies, and Taylor Walker, he is so important to that side. He just lifts the entire team when he's on, and I feel like he might have another big game here against the Giants. The Giants last week, obviously, much wasted opportunity against St Kilda. Probably could have won if they'd kicked. I think their kicking was actually alright, but they just made the wrong decisions too many times. I'm looking at you, Harry Himmelberg. Everyone knows that moment from the Giants-St Kilda game. Or I think Adelaide, probably, I can see why Adelaide are the favourites in this one. Much, much better form, 3-3. The Giants are 1-5. And Adelaide Oval, I think it's going to be quite tough. So I'm tipping the Crows in that one, even though I could see the Giants bouncing back. Obviously, the Giants are an unpredictable side. But I'm going to tip the Crows in that one. I think they will be too strong for the Giants. Next up, at the MCG, we got the D's up against the Hawks. Bit of a rivalry. These two sides, obviously, we know. I think it was back in the 90s. They were almost going to merge together to form. I don't know. It was the Melbourne Hawks or something. I don't know. But anyways, at the MCG, it's basically neutral ground because both these teams play at the MCG. Obviously, you knew that. This game last year was a draw. So it seems Hawthorn may know how to play Melbourne. Jackson out, Cozzy Pickett out. I think they've all got COVID protocols and all that. Tom Sparrow out. Although Lever and Viney come back in for Melbourne. So, this game has upset potential because the Hawks are a scary side. But I think the class of Melbourne is a bit too good. I think it's going to be hard without Jackson, but I'm tipping the D's in this one, I think. I think the D's stronger side for probably 4 quarters. The Hawks, they play about 3 quarters, normally the Hawks, but they have a little lapse in one of their quarters. Obviously, last week it was the last quarter against Sydney. It was the first quarter against Carlton. That have sometimes cost them games. I think it was the 3rd quarter against Geelong that almost cost them. But yeah, I think if they fix up those lapses, Hawthorn, I think they could be on. But I'm going to tip the D's in that one. A bit of a safe tip there. But yeah, I don't want to go upsets just in case they don't happen. But yeah, maybe I should go more upsets. No, that's probably a bad idea. Anyways, I was almost about to say St Kilda Day. Saturday. 30th of April at Kazali Stadium, we got the Saints up against Port Adelaide. The Saints are in ripper form, obviously coming off a pretty solid win against the Giants. Probably wasn't totally convincing considering, they almost blew it in that second quarter, I should say. Port Adelaide just got their first win, 84-point smashing of West Coast at Adelaide Oval. I'm not convinced on Port Adelaide yet, considering that was only West Coast. This will be their first test, though, Port Adelaide, to see if they've really recovered from that slow start. Kazali Stadium, though, if it was at Adelaide Oval, I'd almost tip Port Adelaide, but I'm going to tip the Saints, I think. I think the Saints probably one of the most informed sides in the comp, obviously with Melbourne, Freo, and probably Sydney and Brisbane. But yeah, the Saints probably up in that top bracket at the moment. They're playing some really good footy, and yeah, it's going to be a real test for Port Adelaide, I think, to see if they've really recovered or not. But nonetheless, Saints get the job done there pretty convincingly. Next up, on Saturday as well, at the same time as the Saints and Port Adelaide game, we got the Blues up against North Melbourne. The Blues last week probably could have played a bit better, if I'm going to be honest. They weren't at their best. First quarter was alright, but they fell away in that 3rd quarter, I think it was. Anyway, 2nd, 3rd quarter. Somewhere in between there. But you'd expect them to beat North Melbourne. Then again, North Melbourne beat them last year, but I think Carlton are probably twice the side they were last year. Yeah, I think you'd be silly not to tip Carlton here. I think Carlton have been the much better side this year. They've shown a whole lot more than North Melbourne this year. They are a pretty competitive side, North Melbourne, when they are on, but I think Carlton at Marvel Stadium, I think they probably should be fine in this one. Next up on Sunday, we got the Pies up against the Gold Coast Suns. Collingwood last week did what they had to do against Essendon on the Anzac Day clash, I should say. Yeah, the Pies, just the more classier side than Essendon ultimately. Whereas Gold Coast, they got exposed against the big brother of the Lions. Yeah, they just didn't look up for the contest, Gold Coast. Yeah, Brisbane just outclassed them. Zach Bailey had a day. They really failed to shut down the Lions' forward line, Gold Coast, which shows that back line is not as strong as it may seem. So you're going to need a strong defence against Collingwood, and I think no Ben King. I think the Pies have got probably one of the best defences in the comp on their day. So at the MCG, if it was at Metricon, I'd give the Suns a bit of a chance, but I'm going to tip Collingwood in this one. I think they're way too good for the Gold Coast Suns. Next up, this could be almost, these next two games could be 2 games of the round, I reckon. Up there with Geelong and Freo, obviously. But the first one of the 2 is between the Western Bulldogs and the Essendon Football Club. Both teams are out of form as you have ever seen. The Bulldogs dropped a massive game to Adelaide up in Ballarat, I think it was. Don't know what the Dogs were doing there. That was not good for their season. And Essendon probably very out of form as well, even though they did take it up to the Pies for most of the day. The Bombers did win this game last year, but then again the Dogs beat them in the elimination final. The Dogs they gotta get rolling. The Dogs, they can't keep doing this. They gotta get going. The Dogs, because their season is slipping away drastically. At Marvel Stadium, neutral ground. Surely the Dogs can win this one. I know. You know that Bont's been playing a little bit better recently. Bailey Smith looks like an absolute jet, but they got to find another way to go. Like Aaron Norton's not going to do it for you. But I reckon the Dogs will win, but it'll be pretty close. I think it'll be 15 points. It won't be over 20, I don't think, unless the Dogs somehow find their mojo. I'm tipping the Dogs in that one though. And the final game of the round, this is probably game of the round if I'm going to be entirely honest. It's a top 4 clash, I think. Yeah, it is. 3rd and 4th, we got the Sydney Swans up against the Brisbane Lions at the SCG in Sydney. The Swans looking the goods this year. I didn't think they were going to win that game against Hawthorn, but as the good sides do, they found a way against the Hawkers, and the Lions, did what they had to do against the little brother in Gold Coast. Didn't really put up much of a fight. The Suns, as I mentioned. Brisbane though this is very evenly matched. I think if the Swans get on a roll, they probably could be on here. But then again, if the likes of Cameron, Danaher, Bailey get off the chain against Brisbane, for Brisbane, the Lions could be on as well. This is a 50-50. This is a coin flip. I've gone for all favourites, I think. I think, like I said, I think Sydney are slightly better when they're on, but not by much, by like a hair. But I'm going to tip Sydney. Look, the Swans and both teams are in great form at the moment. They're absolutely flying. But I think, the Swans, if Buddy gets off the chain, I'm not sure if Papley's back or not. I'm going to have to check the lineups and all that. But I'm tipping the Swans to win that, but that will be an absolute cracker. I can't wait for that one on Sunday. So, So there we go, guys. That is my round 7 tips for this upcoming round. Comment down below your tips, as always. Comment down below your thoughts on all the matches. Comment down below how your team's going this year. I'm sure there'll be a lot of mixed opinions. Hope you enjoyed. Remember to leave a like, share, subscribe if you're new. We're trying to get the channel as big as we can. Join my tipping comp, link down below in the description. Try and get as many people in there as possible. Thank you so much for 230 subs. Means a lot. We're trying to grow the channel as big as we can. It's good to see we are growing in numbers every now and then. It's always good to see. Hope you enjoyed. Like, share, subscribe, as I said. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers!